One of my favorite parts about the new kitchen is the under cabinet lighting. But during the planning process, I felt to consider that anyone would actually turn on the light over the stove. And they keep doing it every day. Now the problem is when I go to bed and I turn off the switch, that light stays on. So in today's video, I'm going to be solving that problem with this little device, a Shelly 1 relay switch. There's no light switch for this other than a little knob that you turn on and off. So it's kind of hard to make that smart. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use one of these to make it smart. Let's get started. Now thank you to Shelly for sending out these products. Here they have a plug that is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for 15 amps. And then here today we're specifically going to be talking about the Shelly 1, which is a Wi-Fi relay switch for 15 amps. Now this is kind of unique. Over here on the side, it says that it works with 110 to 240 volts, or you can use it over AC, or you can use it DC for 12 volts. Power component is 1 watts, max RF output is 9.95 dBm. It's open source, intelligent on-off embedded web server, and frequency of 2412 to 2472, and max frequency of 2483 with Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN. So if you understand those, congratulations. I don't. So a few great things. This is UL listed as well as RoHS compliant, so you know that it's going to be a quality product and you should not have any electrical issues with this. And then here it says, please check the position of the jumper before installing the device. So follow the instructions in the user guide. And then here we have the relay switch. So this is pretty small, so you could use this in a few different places. One is you could place it behind a typical light switch and it will make that light switch smart. I guess you can also use this to control your garage. You can get notified on a doorbell, so you can attach this to the wires on the doorbell and it can notify you if someone's at the door. So this is a really versatile device. So I'm not even sure how to use it in all those situations, but today we're going to find out how to use it here for the oven light. And then here it does come with some instructions on how to get this wired, and again another QR code to get it set up. And so here are the 5 different ports: 0, 1, SWL, and then N. So now it's time to take apart the oven light. To find the wiring, I'm going to turn off the power first and then see where we need to attach this. Now in an attempt to figure out how to make this smart, I have taken this down a few different times and finally I learned the Shelly could do it, so let's try it out. So there we have the power that's incoming and powering the fan as well as the light. So there, the big black thing up there, that is the fan. And so the one wire comes down into this contraption. So there's the power, kind of goes in here, goes into this little white thing to power the fan over there, and then there's all these different things that it's attached to, and then here we have our light, which is just a simple on and off. And so is what I think we'll need to do is we'll need to splice these cables, and we will need to then pigtail off of that to the relay and then go back onto this, and let's try it out and hopefully it works. So I've been staring at these wires now for a few hours and I've binged the hookup video about the Shelly 1, and I think I finally understand what is going on. So reading through the instructions, I don't really understand exactly what I need to do, but thanks so much to Rob from the hookup. He had this little tiny diagram that really explains everything that I needed to do. So here, let me kind of break this down of what's happening. So here on the Shelly relay, the first thing we have is the O. So that's the load output to terminal. So that is what is going to the lights I want to be controlled. Next we have I, which is the load input terminal. So that is power that's going into the terminal. Then we have the SW, which is the switch input terminal. So that is my rotary switch that I have here. So that is what's going to turn on the lights. Next we have the L, which is the live terminal. So that again is connected to the power. So here we have the power. And then last we have N, which goes to the neutral line. So your power coming in, you have power and you have neutral. So then up here with our switch, we have the switch going to connect to the switch terminal. And then we have the line, so that's going to have a line out that's connecting to these other 2 power. So you have the 3 power connected, then one going to the switch, and then the other line going to this switch. Does that make sense? All right. Let's double check the power's out and try it out. So here the power is out. And now the first thing I'm going to do is use the neutral up here and attach a neutral. Now I'm just using some 14.2 electrical wire that I had. Not sure if there's something else you should be using. And then here on the relay, I started to attach some pigtails. So here I've added an I pigtail as well as an L pigtail. And then here was the scariest part. I cut these light switch cables in half, and then I stripped the ends of those so that I could then wire nut them together so that we could have that full grip. And I wish I had a little more wire there. I could pigtail them off again, but it was getting pretty crammed in here. So I was just doing my best to make sure I had all the wires taken apart that I needed. And then here I'm double checking to make sure I have everything connected correctly like I labeled in my diagram. Very helpful to do that. All right, let's test it out. And nothing. See that loose cable right there? That would explain why the switch is not operating properly. Let's fix that. So now that we have the power back on, let's go ahead and open the Shelly Smart Control app to see if we can get it connected and see if it's receiving any power. So I have already created an account here, so we will need to do that first when you open the app. Now we're going to add a device, and we're going to add a new device. Now we're going to go through what is called the inclusion process, that's adding it to our Wi-Fi network. Okay, so let's go ahead and add via Wi-Fi. And here it's asking what Wi-Fi network we want to add it to, and I'm going to be choosing my Wi-Fi right down here. So you can change it if you need to, but this is the one that's right. And now it's searching for the Shelly devices here in the home, and it found the Shelly 1. So we're going to tap on that, and now we're going to confirm all the information just by selecting yes. And now it's going to program the Wi-Fi network onto the Shelly 1. Now we're going to give the device a name. Here we're going to call it Hood Light. And then here you can actually take a picture of the device and add it to this page, and there's some preset pictures as well. And then it's asking what room you want to add it to. Since I don't have any rooms, I'm just going to choose as a hidden device, and then we'll go back and adjust that later. All right, there we go. Let's see. Okay, it's trying. It turned on, yes! Amazing, I love when it works. Okay, okay, just took a second there, but that was awesome that it worked. Let's go ahead and add a room here. All right, so we're gonna go up to all rooms and add a room. And here we're gonna name this room kitchen and save. That's quite the kitchen automatically added there. Let's scroll over to all devices, and here we can tap on the hood light, and then we're gonna go to edit, and we can then swipe over and add it into the kitchen and select save, and then it will appear here in the kitchen. So now I can turn it on and off. So let's go ahead, get everything put back together, and then we'll connect this so that we can control it with Google Assistant as well as Amazon Alexa. And there we have the Shelly 1. It is operating just fine. Now I did have to take the neutral from the main line coming in there because the neutral was separated out to the fan control here. So that worked really well. And then I just had to do some splicing. I was a little bit nervous through that part, but it was great that I had it all written down first so I knew exactly what I needed to do. And now it is working like a charm. Two thumbs up. Now that the Shelly 1 is set up, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it into the rest of my smart home. So here in the Google Home app, I need to tap the plus, and then I need to tap Setup Device, and here I'm going to choose Works with Google, and then we're going to search for the Shelly skill. So there we have Shelly Smart Home. Now it's going to link my account, and now I need to log in. Now we head back to the main page of the Google Home app, and down here at the bottom, there we have the hood light, and now I can simply just turn it off. Turn it back on. Hey Google, turn off the hood light. And there you go, full control. Awesome. Now let's go to Alexa, tap menu. We're going to go to skills, search for Shelly, enable to use, and sign into my account. And then here under devices, we have the hood light. We can turn on and off, create routines, use voice and everything else. And then last, I'm going to incorporate it into SmartThings. So under new device, I just need to search for Shelly. Then I'm going to link my account. Here we're going to add it into the kitchen. Sign into our account. And there we go. It is in the kitchen and we can turn it on and off just like that. And now I can incorporate it with my motion sensors and everything else that I have here in the kitchen. Now with the help of my Sensor 7 in SmartThings, I then just create a routine when I walk in the room. It then automatically turns on the under cabinet lighting as well as the hood light, and after a certain amount of time, they then turn off. Now let's take a look at the Shelly app. Now I'm actually really impressed with how versatile this app is and how much customization there is. So here you can see on my main dashboard, I was able to easily add the hood light. So now I can turn it off right from the main page. There I even added a picture of the hood light so you can customize what that looks like. You can hit edit there and then upload your own picture. And then here you can change what room it's in and all that stuff. Then let's go to the other settings you have here. So right here, you can see different events. So whenever it was on or off, you can check there. Here we have a timer. So this is really cool. I can set an auto off. Let's just do 10 seconds. So then after the light has been on for 10 seconds, let's see, we're going to turn it off, turn it back on. There you can see it has a 10-second timer that it's automatically going to turn off the light. So if I did just set a timer for an hour, it would automatically turn off after that 1 hour. And boom, there you go, the light's off. So that's really cool that you can easily adjust that if you need to. So next we have the option to create a schedule. So I could set a schedule where every day of the week at 9:53 it automatically turns off, but for now we'll just say on. And then as soon as 9:53 comes around, here we're going to set to on. So as soon as it turns 9:52, it would automatically turn on. Oh, I missed it. There you go. You can easily set a schedule. Let's go back to the main page. Here we can then just easily turn that on. Next we have hood light actions. I don't know how to use this, but here it says button on URLs. You click edit, you can add a URL, you can add different URLs, and yeah, that's more advanced than what I know how to do. Here we have the network availability for the hood light. So this is actually really cool. Here it's on my Wi-Fi, but you could add a second Wi-Fi to this so that you could kind of have a backup, which is really cool. Here you have the access point, the Wi-Fi AP roaming, restrict login, and cloud. So you can turn off the cloud if you just want to use this locally, which is really cool. Then down here in the settings, you have pin lock, you can sync the name, input state, tons of settings here. Here you can share it with others so that they could use it. And then here you have all the settings. So you have an eco mode that will automatically use less power. Here you have a power on default. So if the power goes out and it turns back on, this is what is going to happen. So here we have button type. Now I'm not exactly sure on all these settings, but one thing I have noticed is if I turn off the light from here and then I go to turn it on, I'll always have to turn it off and then turn it on from the switch. I don't know if there's a way to make it so whenever you click it, it turns on, but there are a lot of settings here, so I just haven't figured that out. Here you have a long push option. If your button has a push that you would hold down, here you can set an external switch. Again, not sure on that one. Here you have geolocation and time, device name, channel name, firmware. So as soon as you install this, go in there, do the firmware update. You can factory reset. You can reboot the device right from here, and you have more device information. So just a ton of other settings, which is so great to see. And this app is very versatile. I was able to change the kitchen picture there. You have different groups, scenes. You can look at all your devices. You can set alarms and discover. Here you have energy monitoring. Here you have more settings about the app. Just really a ton of different options. I've never seen this many options in a smart home app, and that's just so cool to see that it's so versatile. Let's go ahead and check out the Shelly Plug US. So there you go, pretty simple. It has the wide front with the on off on the side and a little power indicator. Let's go ahead and plug this in. All right, it is plugged in, so we're gonna head into the app. Now we have the Office, so then we're gonna press the plus down here to add a new device. And here we're just going to select Add New Device. And we're gonna do the Add Via Wi-Fi option. So here it's saying, do you want to use this network to add it to? Yes, we do. And there it found the Shelly plug. So we're gonna tap on there. It says, do you want to include this device? Yes, we do. So now it's going to take the Wi-Fi information I've given to the app and place that onto the plug so that it can then automatically connect to my network. And let's call this Office Lamp. And here we can choose a name. There you can see it's already been added to some different devices. So here we can choose a picture. We can keep it the plug or add a picture of our own. And here we're going to add this into the Office. Now for the setup, you can also head to your web browser and go to 192.168.33.1. And that will be able to find the web interface for this. You can do this on the plug as well as the Shelly One to be able to control it from there. So if you want to get really technical with things, check that out. But today we're just going to be using the app. All right, and there the lamp is connected. There you can see it's already added it to Google as well as Alexa because I have already linked those. So now if we want to turn on the lamp, just like that, instantly turns on and off. And here you can see that currently when it's off, it's using 0 watts. And we have 134.3 volts. When I turn it on, then that adjusts based on the lights there. So we have 7.7 watts that it's now using, and the volts is staying the same because that's how much power is coming to the switch. And the update has finished. And I really like this little animation when I tap the on off. That's really fun. So that is the Shelly Plug US. Let's head back to the kitchen. So after spending the day checking out the Shelly One, I am so impressed with this product. Now it did take me a little bit of work to get it working, but once I figured that out, it's so cool that it can be hidden inside there. We can operate the light, and then whenever I want it to be automated or whatever, I have all of those options now. So whenever I'm done with the day and I go to bed, I can easily turn off all the lights with the press of a button, or they can all automatically turn off by themselves. So if you are in the need to automate some type of light switch or a unique device, this is such a great way to do that. Now, I think it's really cool that if you wanted to, you could get these for your existing light switches and incorporate them without having to buy a whole new light switch and that kind of thing. Once you wire 1 or 2 of these, it should be pretty easy to wire them all. So really, this is such a versatile product. Thanks so much, Shelly, for sending this out. And also a huge shout out to Rob at The Hookup for making some awesome videos all about this. He has a lot more technical knowledge about how all this works and all the different Shelly models. There's not only this, there's one that works if you don't have a neutral wire, or there's one that does dimming, or there's all kinds of different available products that you can check out on his channel. I'll leave a link to that right here. And if you want to check out the Shelly One, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.